Well, it's Steve White, Trek89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, Trump is attacking the media, Hollywood in general, and it's not just with the tariffs. He's specifically going after ABC, CBS, shows like 60 Minutes, Star Trek, The View. They're all basically they're trying to censor them and trying to basically bully anyone who isn't pro-Trump and white supremacists into changing their content, to basically cater to their propaganda, and it's pretty terrifying. The head of 60 Minutes left because they were basically being censored. They weren't allowed to report the news. They were being told what to show, how to say, and how to do it. So with pro-Trump and everything, so they left. I think one of the other big executives at one of the other networks left as well. I can't remember who that was. CBS went and fired pretty much anyone who wasn't white and straight out of all their news shows, leaving only, I think, Rachel Maddow, who's white but she's a lesbian, and I think she's leaving or has already left her show. So basically the media is being whitewashed, and they're trying to make it all pro-Trump, and it's pretty scary. And then we have, for example, the CBS issues. Trump suing them because he didn't like that they did an interview with Kamala Harris where they basically let her talk, and he didn't like that because it wasn't pro him. So they're suing them for nothing. And then there's also the issues with Star Trek. Basically, they were told to censor Star Trek Strange New Worlds because they had a few storylines that were clearly anti-Trump. So they had to go in and re-edit some episodes, which is why the show is being delayed and why it's only going to hit streaming in like July, I think, or something. And the other thing, the merger between Paramount, or what's like a merger with Skydance, basically Sherry Radstone was selling her controlling shares of Paramount to Skydance, so they would then basically own Skydance. But then investors were suing because the deal that she signed benefited her, not them. There were other deals that would have benefited the overall company and shareholders more, and that case wouldn't have gone anywhere because basically at the end of the day she can do whatever she wants. She can sell to the people that are going to give her the best deal. They don't so that wasn't really going to go anywhere. They had no teeth, but it's sticking. And why is it sticking? Because the FCC are pro-Trump, and they're basically telling them, just like the studios and everyone and the news networks, if you don't do what we say, we are going to make things very, very difficult for you. And they're holding that up now. And same thing with The View. The Bob Iger basically, because ABC has been attacked for basically having DEI policies and actually not being white supremacists and racists, and actually acknowledging minorities and not being bigots. So they're being attacked, and the execs are starting to feel it, and they're actually, I think Bob Iger said to the ladies of The View, stop being anti-Trump, it's hurting us. And they told him to off, basically. And then I think one of the executives of actually ABC, not just like the head sort of Disney sort of executive, but ABC had the same conversation with them, but just was like, can you just focus on the media and pop culture and away from politics? And they're like, no, this is what our viewers want. They're scared about what's happening in the country. They need to hear people talking about it. Like every episode, Whoopi says, you're not alone in this. We're all scared. We're not alone. People need to hear that. And they're basically telling them, stay away from that. And they're like, no. And they're doing what they're doing. And they're not attacking Trump because they're not anti-Trump on that level where they just will hate him no matter what. They're criticizing the things he's doing. They're legitimately talking about problems that are happening as opposed to just hating for the sake of, because you don't even need to do that with Trump. There's so many bad things, so many criminal things that are happening, like accepting like a $4 billion jet as a bribe from another country, trying to slam a foreign country, saying they're committing white genocide to justify why they're letting in white immigrants, but they're, removing all the immigrants of color, even people who have lived in America. They're trying to get rid of people who were born here if their parents weren't. And just all the horrible things that are happening. So the ABC is being attacked. The View is specifically being attacked. CBS is being attacked. Paramount's being attacked. Star Trek is specifically being targeted, and 60 Minutes and other shows. It's just terrifying. But we knew this was going to happen when he first got in. We knew the next 4 years the media was going to be really struggling, because you either fight it, and it hurts your business, but you take that hit because you're a news organisation and you have to have integrity and take yourself seriously, or you cater to it, you pander to it, and you get through. But at the same time, you do the small thing to tick him off. You're going to be on the shit list again anyway. So you can't really win for dictator. You can't really win. So it's very terrifying, and who knows how much damage can be done in the next 3.5, 4 years. But we're seeing the beginnings of it now, and it's pretty scary, and it's affecting things we love, like Star Trek. Literally, with Strange New Worlds being re-edited, and if this merger doesn't go through, we're going to be stuck with Kurtzman forever.